The reason why it ain't no more money in trucking. You know, I hear a lot. I hear a lot of reasons as to why, you know, people feel like the money ain't been flowing like it used to be in trucking. And some reasons could possibly be legitimate. Some reasons could possibly be self-inflicting. You know, I hear the influx of new drivers, which is something that we all can see. You know, people been blaming foreigners. What else people been saying? Too many trucks, you know, too many trucks on the road. Regulations, of course. Regulations, yeah. I can dig that. Regulations have put a squeeze on a lot of maneuverability out here for us on the road. But, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, you hear people say constantly, you know, after treatment systems on trucks. There's some factors. That definitely has changed the trajectory of trucking. You know, a lot of these factors was in place before I even came in. And as I've been in this industry for almost going on 8 years, you know, I myself can see a shift and a change in the industry. But, you know, I think a lot of times too, you know, people got to take accountability for themselves. Yeah. You know, the reason why it ain't no more money in trucking for a lot of people is because it's you. Excuse my bad. I meant to say the reason why it ain't no more money in trucking or why people can't get to the money is because of you. That's exactly what I meant to say. In a lot of cases, it's the individual. You know, I've been in trucking for almost 8 years, man. And my money, my earning potential, my trajectory of earning potential ain't never slowed up. You know what I'm saying? The only real problems I really started having in trucking is when I became an owner operator. And when you become an owner operator, at least from what I'm learning, just like anything else, you have to learn the ropes. It's a learning curve. You have to grow to understand certain things that come with the level that you on. So, yeah, you know, I definitely went through some rough patches during my first 2.5 years. What is it now? 2.5 years of being an owner operator. And even then, you know, money ain't never slowed up for me. The only thing that ever stopped me from getting to the money, being an owner operator, was my truck. But from day one, I ain't gonna hold you up. From day one since I've been in trucking, I ain't never been broke. And that's a flex. It's a flex because a lot of people, money habits is what put people in bad positions in trucking. You know, I've been saying this. I say it again, it's gonna sound like a flex when I say it, but it's because it is. I ain't never took no cash advance off no Com Data card. That needs to keep being said. I'm gonna keep reiterating that, because if you dependent on that, you might be in bad shape, dog. I don't even know how to take a cash advance off a Com Data card. And I know it's people out here living off that, like depending on their $200 cash advance. Like if you had your paper straight, you wouldn't even be thinking about no cash advance. Are you serious? But you got a lot of people out here like that. That's why a person that's dependent on that, you take a cash advances. What can you tell me about money being bad in the trucking industry? You don't even know how to manage your money. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch who you listening to and who the complaints is coming from. Because one of the things that I noticed as to why there ain't no money in the industry, or why people complaining about they can't get to the money in trucking, A lot of it got to do with impatience and entitlement, especially when it comes to a lot of these new age drivers and drivers that's been coming into this industry these past 4 or 5 years. A lot of entitlement, a lot. You know, people think they just supposed to just come in the industry and just voila, you make all this money. Hey man, every other field, trades, being a plumber, being a carpenter, electrician, it's steps and there's levels to being able to get to the money. You know, a lot of, even when people graduate college for certain things that they went to school for, and they, you know, they go and start careers in their fields, they got to do internships, they got to work for free. You know, trucking ain't no different. Trucking ain't no different. It's just certain things, me personally, as a person that's been in this game for almost 8 years, it's just certain conversations that I can't even entertain. Certain conversations coming from certain people, when you know some of their habits, I don't even take them serious. I can't, because I ain't been broke since day one, making nothing, pennies. I can't relate to nobody. I can't relate to nobody that's complaining about trucking and still using Calm Data cards, fam. Cash advances. I don't get it. But a lot of entitlement, a lot of impatience. You know, people complaining about they ain't getting no loads. I don't know. I don't really know how they go. You know what I'm saying? I really honestly don't know how a lot of this stuff go, because I ain't worked for a whole bunch of companies. You know, I work for 4 companies, including the one that I'm with now, 4 altogether. And each company played a pivotal part in my journey. Started with Swift. Then I went to Stericycle. I got fired from Swift. Then I went to Stericycle, local, regional, hazmat box truck company for the most part. And through them, you know what I'm saying, me going through them, working for them, it forced me to have to get my hazmat, which was a great thing, which was probably one of the best things that happened to me. And from so forth, after them, we worked for Food Liner, then after Food Liner, working with the company that I'm with now. And I can tell you, through all this time, my money earning potential ain't did nothing but go up. I can't really recall no gaps. Can't recall no gaps in my earning potential. Can't ever recall being broke. I just can't recall it. You know what I'm saying? Even being an owner operator with my truck kicking my ass, took a lot of money from me. I still wasn't broke. So a lot of people's complaints really be on them. You know, last year I was watching the Asian My channel, and there was a gentleman on there. He had a brand new Pete. Might have been a 379. Brand new. Either 389 or 379, but it was brand new. So last year was 2024. I think he had a 2023. And it was done up with the works. The interior was like white and red. You know how the Peterbilt got that interior, that old school couch interior? His interior was white and red. That truck was beautiful, chromed out. And this guy was complaining about the rates. This dude actually got this brand new truck, you financing. Homie said he been in the industry for 25 years. He been in the industry for 25 years, fam. And you sitting up here with this brand new Peterbilt, custom, complaining about low rates, complaining about people taking cheap freight. Whose fault is that you can't afford to pay your bills? And this is what I'm saying. You had to be careful about the people who you listening to out here. Look at their habits. Look at the decisions that they make. You know what I'm saying? 2024 kicked my 2024 kicked my butt. Kicked me swift in the butt. And I still uphold the trucking. I still say trucking is a great field for those who built for it. Still say it. I still see the light. Some people don't. That's cool. But a lot of people, they be the reason. They be the reason for their own detriment. Me personally, I couldn't understand for the life of me. Like, why would the person buy a Peterbilt with all the bells and whistles? That got to be like a $200,000 truck right there. $200,000 plus. You complain, the guy, old boy was complaining about low rates and people taking cheap freight. And you've been in this industry for over 20 years. Like, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it'd be people like that saying that the trucking industry is bad. Yeah, things have changed. Things have changed, definitely. I'm not gonna sit up here and deny that they don't, but trucking is also a hustle. So you got to know how to blend in with the times. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn, at some points of times, you got to learn how to be the wolf dressed in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to maneuver. You got to know how to have foresight. Know how to be financially independent enough to where you can weather storms that's coming, the ups and downs. Ain't no more money in trucking. Coming from who? The people that's still in trucking, right? People that's still in trucking, the ones that saying it ain't no more money in trucking. Man, trucking been good to me. Real talk, it really has. Gotta say, trucking only got rough when I started my owner-op journey. And it was some things that I had to learn. And I'm still learning. And it's okay. It's okay. Because that come with the game. But I think a lot of reasons why a lot of people can't see no money is because of themselves. Entitlement. You know, coming into the industry, especially you coming in through a mega company and you might be going OTR regional. You expecting to get these miles. Look, let me tell you something. You cannot listen. Whatever these companies tell you, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they tell you to get you in the door, you have to take all that with a grain of salt. Not to say that you can't make money with these companies after a while, but things ain't finna go the way you think they finna go coming in the gate. Period. They tell you anything to get you in the door. Tell you about the consistency and home time. They're gonna tell you what you want to hear to get you in the door. And a lot of people, they coming in entitled. You know, you think you're supposed to get this time of home time. You know what I mean? You think you just finna make all this money. You think you finna get all these miles consistently. Out of the 4 companies that I work for, 3 of them, 3 Class A companies. Because Stericycle was the only one that was mainly Class B. But the other 3 companies was all Class A, regional OTR, and with each one of those companies that when I started them, it was always shaky in the beginning. Even when I started with Swift, when I was a rookie, I wasn't making no money. Lowe's was inconsistent. You know, all that drive-in shit, shippers and receivers playing with your time, all that, messing your money up. Yeah, money was inconsistent, but I stayed down though. Never complained. Whatever they gave me, I ran it. You know, wasn't tripping about no home time. I came in the game all in. That be the problem with a lot of people, man. A lot of people don't see no money in trucking because they don't be ready to come into this all in. I came into trucking all in. And after a while, during my time with Swift, that's when I got offered dedicated Costco load. To me, that was a power up. That was a power up right there. So even all the other two jobs, when I first started, even like the job I'm at right now. No. When I started working in Food Liner, I was working local, daycare. Put my time in. You know, Food Liner was at the time they was paying a guaranteed pay of $1,200 a week. I know when I left Food Liner after 4 years, they was paying a guaranteed pay of $1,500 a week. But $1,200 a week was cool, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, getting to it, doing the local shit. But once I put my time in, you know what I'm saying, I got comfortable, like probably like a year later. I'm like, hey, man, I'm ready to jump in one of them sleepers, man, take some longer loads, you know. Put me on the sugar board. You know, the bulk sugar is what, the loads is longer, more far out. So, like, yeah, man, give me a sleeper, man. Put me on the sugar board. And, yeah, once I started, you know, once I got up in that sleeper, my money went up. The money went up. And I just stayed grinding. Even when the Food Line started, I don't know what they paying now, but even when they started paying $1,500 guaranteed pay, I still was making more than that. I was bringing home like anywhere between $1,800, $2,000 a week net. But I had to put my time in and grind for that. People, they don't want to grind. They just think it's just supposed to come to them, man. It took me, when I started 2017, my last full year of Food Liner was what, 2021, you know, got close to touching the 100K or grossing the 100K, which is cool. But I had to put that work in. And a lot of people don't want to stay down. A lot of people do not know nothing, especially in today's society. A lot of people want shit overnight. They do not know how to stay down. Even when I worked at Food Liner, you know, Food Liner's competitors was like Bokomatic, Oakley. I forgot which one of those companies, but one of those companies probably was Oakley. I think they was paying their drivers $1,300, or guaranteeing them $1,300 a week. And you have drivers working at Food Line, they would quit and go run over there for that extra $100 a week. To me, quitting a job that I already got seniority in and I've already built up a rapport with the people who I'm working with, you know, as far as terminal managers, DM, working myself into the groove, into the system. Like, why would I quit for a little extra $100 a week? Your money management skills is that bad? Were you jumping for some little chump change like that? But people used to jump for shit like that and had to go to these companies and deal with the same stuff. A lot of why people fail, a lot of the reason why it ain't no money in trucking for a lot of people, I think I said it before, bad money management. Because you can come in the industry chasing the money all you want to and just and eventually gonna find yourself chasing your tail. That's why I always talk about like mindset. Because if you got the mindset, if you thinking in a certain type of way, you're gonna always get to the money. You ain't gonna never be broke. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can say. I ain't, you know, I hate to brag. I ain't trying to brag, but it is. I guess it would be a flex, but I can't help it. That I use simple financial fundamentals on how not to be broke. Especially as a company, as an owner operator, it's understandable how people can go under, because with this owner operator stuff, it's a whole nother ball game. And you know, either you gonna come into being an owner operator fully prepared, or with you know, over sufficient funds to be able to cover everything, or you're going to have to start off with minimal to moderate resources and work your way through it, you know, because this is really a wave, up and down wave. But as a company driver, me being company, the money been consistent. Money ain't never been funny for me. But then again, maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I just got blessed. Because a lot of stuff that people be complaining about, I don't be having no complaints besides normal trucking stuff we go through on the daily that can piss you off. But other than that, can't say none of the companies I work for was bad companies. Not like some of these other companies I be hearing about. I never had those experiences, you know. Maybe because I just came in the game all in. You know what I'm saying? The game has been good to me. You know, I didn't ask to be doing hazmat. Hazmat really chose me, for real. Because once I got fired from Swift, when I got on with Stericycle, I got on with that because I had a homeboy who used to work at Stericycle, and he still had a homeboy that was working there. So he made that work for me, tapped me in, and I was able to get in through there. And I just had to follow whatever they wanted me to do. Oh, I got to go get my hazmat. Okay. And when I look back, that was one of the best things they had. Working for Stericycle was probably one of the best things that happened to me, because working for them, I was forced to go get my hazmat. And I'm so glad that my journey went that way. So maybe because I came in the game all in, that the game been blessing me. Has it been some hard times? Yeah, of course. You know, that's part of the journey. You know, ain't nothing worth having gonna be easy. But, yeah. I never really seen no interruptions with the money. You know, maybe it was because the shit that I was in. Even when COVID came, I was working for Food Liner, food grade, bulk food grade. Money never stopped. Matter of fact, I think I started making more money during COVID because we stayed busy. You know, food, bulk food, that's an essential need right there. So I don't know, man. I see things changing in trucking, but people gotta ask themselves, man. You know, when you done blaming all these other reasons for why trucking ain't this and why trucking ain't that, and why you can't see no money, man, you might have to go stand and look in the mirror and look at some of the stuff that you doing. You know, because that, I hate to bring it up again, but that guy that was on the Age of My channel last year with that brand new Pete, that is a prime example. That's a prime example of somebody complaining about the industry. They complaining about the money in the industry and complaining about what other drivers is doing as far as picking up cheap loads. But look at what you just did. Why would you put a responsibility on your back like that? Especially you've been in the game 25 years, so you should already know how to see. You should have eagle vision with this shit. Know how to see and know how to feel things out. Why make a decision like that? And then when the money ain't right, you can't pay your bills. Now you blaming the industry instead of blaming yourself. A lot of people don't know it's them, fam. I remember one time I was coming out of my terminal where I'm at now. Matter of fact, I was getting ready to start my day. It's in the wee hours in the morning. Ran into this brother. He was from another terminal. And I don't know, I guess I don't know what he was doing. But he was from another terminal. I just happened to run into him while I was about to get ready to head out. And he had stopped and asked me something. And that one question turned in me standing there listening to him complain for about 15, 20 minutes. And me, I'm the type of person, you know, somebody stopped, they want to talk, you know, I talk to him. But it really was just me sitting up there listening to this dude complain. Complain about the dispatchers, complain about this, complaining about that. And I'm just sitting up there looking at him, thinking in my head, like, you don't even realize that you the cause of your problems. You don't even realize it. I could sit up here and just hear your conversation and I could tell you the reason for a lot of your problems. You know what I mean? He had what I call a diva mentality. Because being a diva in trucking ain't going to get you far neither. You know, having all these stipulations, I can't do this, I can't do that, I need to be off by this day, especially when you just coming in, you know, you just coming in OTR and you think you finna have schedule right on time, home time. For some people, they might get lucky. You know, it just, everything all depends. There's so many different variables, but for most people, most of the time, it's just not gonna go that way. It's not gonna go that way. Gotta put your time in and do what you gotta do. Gotta be willing to make sacrifices, fam. You know, where I'm from, Northwest Indiana, the Chicagoland area, what they call the Rust Belt area, it's a lot of opportunity up here for trucking. You know, you might be able to get out of school and come find you a job in this area, but how many people really gonna move from where they from to come move to the Rust Belt? You know, you willing to move from the South, you willing to move from Florida or wherever you coming from, you willing to move from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? You willing to move from any of these hot spots to come move along the Rust Belt, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois? Are you willing to relocate? It's part of, you know, being able to get to the money is in trucking is being able to make sacrifices. A lot of people don't want to make them sacrifices either, so. Yeah, I get it, man. It's a lot of things that's changing the industry. It ain't nothing we can really do about it. But just speaking from somebody who's been in trucking for almost 8 years, fam, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry when I say this. I ain't never been broke. You know, and it was funny, man, in one of my videos, I had made a point about, I had basically said, I had named one of the trucker content creators that I first started watching when I first came into the industry, right? So, you know, that particular person, you know, I guess he's been controversial through the years. So somebody came in my comment section. Somebody came in my comment section and said, oh, well, if you listen to him, you listen to such and such, you must be a failed truck driver. If you take advice from that person that I named in my video that I first started watching when I came into the industry. Homie said I must be, the dude in the comment section, he said I must be a failed truck driver if I was listening to that particular person that I named. You know, and then this guy, this same troll, you know what I'm saying, he proceeds to break down everything about said content creator, his whole career and what he did and what he didn't do with his career. And it's just like, the more you talking about this other guy in my comment section, is really saying more about you than it's saying about him. But when it comes to me being a failed truck driver, almost 8 years, fam, I ain't never been broke. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've lived paycheck to paycheck. It's been a long time. Even with getting my ass kicked with being an owner operator, still ain't really had to live paycheck to paycheck. Shit been tight. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? We climbing out. We moving on up. But I don't know what it feel like to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't know what it feel like to have to take a cash advance off a Comp Data card. I don't know nothing about none of that. But homie said I was a failed truck driver. I guess people need, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. But people gotta blame. People gotta look at themselves, fam. People gotta look at themselves. You can blame everything else. People gotta blame themselves. So, just something to think about. Gone.